Hello and welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave. I've been thinking a lot about this Model X that I have on order, and I'm a little bit OCD. I keep watching all of the different estimates in terms of when these cars are going to be available for delivery. And there's something interesting going on right now with the Model X, and I thought I would make this video just to kind of share my thoughts with you, see what your thoughts are. I've been checking on some Reddit boards. Seems like there's a lot of people that are kind of waiting for their base Model X, the one that will qualify for the federal tax credit because the list price is $79,990. There seem to be a lot of inventory cars that are some being discounted in some parts of the country. Others, at least in my part of the country at Mount Kisco, they don't seem to be moving right now. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. Let's discuss this. I think it's interesting because even though this is what I'm going to be talking about today is the Model X, is it possible that Tesla is distracted with the Model 3 refresh ramp up and the Cybertruck ramp up, and maybe they're not paying as much attention to the Model X? Seems like there's a lot of demand out there, but I'm getting mixed signals. So let me roll out my thoughts to you and see what you think about it. All right, let's get into it. On September 14th, I put an order in for a Tesla Model X, and originally I had an estimated date of delivery of around between October and November. It didn't give me exact dates or anything like that. But if you look at the Tesla website now or on my app, it says that the delivery date is anywhere between November 9th and December 21st. Now, I've heard some people that ordered right after me, right around on September 18th or 19th. I was September 14th. They've gotten pushed out to a December to January time frame. Now, the interesting thing about that, it's fine if I get the car in January. I don't really care. I'm just sort of anxious to get it. But there's a couple of factors that the longer it takes to get, the implications started impacting me. So, for example, I've already been approved for the financing, and I'm locked in, I think, at a 6.49% interest rate. But that financing lock-in only lasts for 60 days. The other thing is, originally for my Model 3, I have the rear-wheel drive LFP. It's a 2023. It's got 3,600 miles on it. That car, they originally gave me an estimated trade-in value of $33,300. But those estimated trade-in values, they only last for 30 days. And so 3 days ago, or 4 days ago, I re-upped it, and they came back, and it lost $1,900, $33,400, or $31,400. Sorry about that. Which I guess I understood because they had lowered the price on the Model 3 by $1,250. And I think they had lowered the price on the Model Ys as well, but then they subsequently just raised the price on the Model Y by $500. So they're playing around with all these numbers, and I just really, if I'm going to do this transaction, which I am going to do, I just want to get it done and lock it in so I don't, because interest rates have popped up at least one time since I've got that locked in rate of 6.49%. So yeah, I mean, the spec that I've got on this Model X is the base model, right? $79,990, which does not include the $1,390 or the $250. That $1,390 is the delivery charge, and the $250 is the, I guess the right to order the car charge or whatever they call it. So this is the Model X. This is the dual motor all-wheel drive in ultra red, which is a great color. I'm a little, I don't know, I'm a little hesitant about getting it. It's sort of not something I've ever really gone with a red car before, but it's such a good looking red that I've decided to do it. Definitely don't want the 22-inch wheels. Those things are $5,500. I only want the base, the 5-seater in the black because, that's really what I want. I don't like the 6-seater combination. When we have Bailey traveling in the back, I strap her in right in the center of the bench seat and, just lock her in there and she rides great, and then she can look around. When you have the 6-seater, it's just a big gap there between the two bucket seats in the rear. The bucket seats are nice, They're more comfortable for sure. And we don't need the 7-seater. And by the way, the $6,500 charge for 6-seater, that would be a waste of money for us. And also, you can't fold down those 6-seaters, those second row in the 6-seater combination flat like you can with the 5 or 7-seaters. So, like, I wouldn't want to spend money for that, and it's just not practical for us. And then I don't want the yoke, which is $1,000 option. I just want the steering wheel. So the real configuration that I want is right here on the screen, which is the $79,990. Now, what's interesting about Tesla is they have some inventory cars in. Well, let me first talk a little bit about the pricing of these cars. You'll see that the Model X, the base model, the all-wheel drive, and by the way, when we say base, the thing flies. The 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, top speed of 149 miles an hour, and 348 miles of range, EPA-rated range, $79,990. But the Model X Plaid, they just raised last Thursday night, I think it was by $5,000. And if you thought about that, when they had the gap between the Model X, if you wanted a 6-seater combination, that was a really good buy, only a $10,000 difference between the Model X base and the Model X Plaid. And so they widened that gap to $15,000. But, you know, what does that say to you? That says that the Model X Plaid was really priced right at $89,990. It's still of good value in a lot of ways at $94,990. I just don't need that extra speed. But having said that, I went to a website the other day, and I'm going to pull this up. It's on cars.com is where I found it. If on the Model X, the prices have come down so much on new, one would think that you'd be able to get a really good value on a used Model X. And so I went over to cars.com, and I found what I thought was the most unbelievable deal here, which was a 2022 Tesla Model X base, or is it a Plaid? This is confusing. Both of them, actually, they've got two cars here from this company called 21 Century Auto Group in New Jersey somewhere. And I've been on the phone with them 3 or 4 times because I was ready to put a deposit down on this second car here, which is a Model X Plaid for $69,921, a 2022. Everything they say about the car, clean Carfax, 8,768 miles. I mean, like, I'll buy that car. It's a white car, and it's a 6-seater. And even though I don't really want the 6-seater, I thought from a resale value, this would be an unbelievable deal. And then I looked, they've got another one at the same dealership for $11,998 miles for $72,721. They've got another one for $72,921 with 5,999 miles. They've got another one with 5,996 miles. And by the way, these are all listed on their website as well, at least at the time of this recording. And there's just so many of these cars. So I'm like, wow, the market must have tanked on these Model X's. This is great. I was going to go buy it on Saturday. So on Saturday morning, I called them up. Actually called them up on Friday. I said, I want to give you a deposit on this car. And they said, no, you have to come in here. What time can you come in here? I said, well, I can't come in until Saturday. And, you know, what this ended up being was just classic bait and switch. I spoke to, I mean, look, here's another one right here with 1,389. This one's a base model, 2023 for $75,985. They've got this one here in Mount Kisco, which is interesting at the dealership. That is a legitimate Tesla Model X Plaid with 40,571 miles. Way too many miles for a 1-year-old vehicle. But the thing is, that's right across the street from the Tesla dealership or Tesla service center in Mount Kisco. But the thing about that car is it's got a blown rear axle, and it's been sitting at Mount Kisco Tesla for a while. They're still advertising the car, but they don't know when the part's going to come in. So I don't know if somebody launched that thing too many times, but look, it's 78,000. If that car had 12,000 miles on it, maybe you'd go for it. But you can get a brand new one, 2023, for 94,990 right now. So, I mean, 40,000 miles is a lot of miles. There's no way that they're going to sell that car. And they don't even know when the part's going to come in. Then you keep going down here, and there's another 22 Model X base with 16,000 miles from this 21st Century Group. Bottom line is, this company here in New Jersey, I don't know what game they're playing. I called a guy and I said, listen, just level with me. I live in Connecticut. I'd like to come down. I'm an honest guy. I want to do business with you. He goes, look, we only have 2 cars. One of them's 82,990 and the other one's 78,990. I don't even remember how many miles were on them, but they're advertising. And what's so strange is they advertise with the same picture in every single case. All right. So bottom line is, it's not as if the used market has fallen down and really come down so much. I think a lot of dealers are sitting on these cars and got caught a little bit, off guard with the price reductions that Tesla has done. And especially if you do qualify for that $7,500 federal tax credit on a base model, and you don't need the 6-seater and you don't need the white seats, and you just get the base, whatever it is, like the one I'm getting, that's an incredibly good value of, let's call it $72,500 after the federal tax credit. And so none of these used cars can compete with that. So it doesn't make sense right now, in my opinion, to buy a used Model X, especially one like the one with the blown axle with 40,000 miles, that's 76,000. So I'm back to looking at the new cars. And so then I look at this website here, this is a great website that I love to look at because it allows you to look at the inventory across the entire country. It's called Waiting for Tesla. I don't know if you've ever checked this out, but these are the inventory cars that are scattered across the country. And you can put in different filters for different locations. You can say whether or not you want demo vehicles or just exclude the demo vehicles, where you want them, where the car could be located. So in my case, I could look at New York. And this thing is tightly coordinated to the Tesla inventory website that Tesla has as well. So this is really great. The trim codes, you can get the all-wheel drive or the Plaid. You can sort of go on that. But I've been looking at this site for quite a while because it gives me an indicator as to how many of these 79,990 cars are actually hitting the inventory. And I don't see very many of them at all. As a matter of fact, this number here of 223 available Model X's in inventory throughout the whole country, I've seen it as low as around 211 and as high as in, like, say, the high 280s. It hovers somewhere between 200 and, let's call it 11 and 280 in terms of the number of cars. But look, here's a great deal. If you live in Raleigh, here's a car that does not qualify for the federal tax credit, even if you do, because the MSRP is over 80,000 here. But the way this particular car is outfitted, if that works for you, you can get $5,000 off that thing. Here's another one, another $5,000 off. You can see all these different cars, but in the entire country right now, if you look down, this is real time. There is only one inventory car at the $79,990 price in the entire country, and it's in Honolulu. All right, that would be an expensive, ship. Hey, Tesla, can you ship that car over to me? What's interesting is, I don't know why, but if there's a car, even in, let's say, Massachusetts, that would fit my needs here, they're not available. So what happens is, if you look at this particular car, and you say you want to buy that one, it doesn't allow you. It says it's not available in your area. So then what you have to do is you have to go over to the Tesla website and you have to put in your zip code, and then you can see all the cars that are available for your particular local area, where they can do a delivery for you. And these are all the cars that Mount Kisco has. And this inventory has not changed in the last 45 days. It is flat stagnant. No one is buying these inventory cars. that I can see. Most every single one of these cars has 22-inch wheels on base cars. Sure, the wheels look nice, but I want the 20-inch wheels. I think they ride better. I don't think they look all that bad. And it's $5,500 more for the 22-inch wheels. So, you know, you're spending money unnecessarily. Every one of these cars also comes with the yoke, which is $1,000 option right now. And the yoke, last I heard, they're still having problems with the yokes peeling. I had that issue with my Model S. Now Tesla backs it up and they replace it, and they say they're going to come out with a better one. But you can see all these cars here that are at Mount Kisco. None of them are $79,990. Forget about that. Here's a red one that is 22-inch wheels, black and white. It's got the white seats, yoke steering wheel, and a 7-seater. 7-seater's $3,500 option. And so that car, you're talking about $91,990. They do have one car in stock that is a Plaid, which has the white seats and it has the steering wheel. And interestingly enough, the only car in inventory right now at Mount Kisco of all these cars here that have the 20-inch wheels is the Plaid, which is interesting to me. I would have thought the Plaid would have 22-inch wheels, but it doesn't. And the other thing is this car has the steering wheel. So if money were no object, I would go for this car. But, you know, that's $16,990 more, right, than the one that I'm going to get. And I just don't need it. It does have the 6-seater, 6 seats as well. So I guess just to kind of sum things up here a little bit, you know, the purpose of me making this video is to just kind of get you into my mind about what am I thinking about. All right, I've got this Model X on order. It's going to be coming in any time now, or at least they say that. But it's possible that it may be delayed. So why not look at the used market, see what kind of values are out there. Right now, I don't see any smoking hot deals. Unless you're able to have one of these cars, these fictitious cars from 21st Century Automotive in New Jersey, you know, be careful with any dealership specifically, but especially be careful with all those cars that are listed on Cars.com, because they won't ship a car to you. You have to physically go there, and what they're trying to do, I believe, is get you in the shop to show you, oh, that just sold the classic game. And they want to try and sell you something that they have. I don't know why people have to do that in this day and age. It really upsets me. The fact that all these cars are still listed up on that on Cars.com and their website's crazy to me. So the used market, forget about it. You know, and I'm just going to wait for my car. You know, which is fine. But you know, like I said, I wanted to look at all the options. So used out doesn't make sense. The deal right now on a brandy new Model X, $79,990, and if you qualify for that $7,500 at $72,500 is smoking hot deal for this car. There's been a couple of rumors floating around the Reddit boards that they may be adding a front bumper camera, and they may be adding ambient lighting to the Model X as well, and that may be why they're delayed in sending these base cars, because the inventory cars, at least the way I'm seeing them, they don't seem to be moving, at least not in Mount Kisco. And that car in Honolulu, that's been sitting out there for over 45 days, and that is a $79,990 car. But on the Reddit boards, I'm seeing there are a lot of people that have orders in when Tesla lowered the price on the base model, and they're just not getting their cars. Now, what I believe is happening, not that it matters, but what I believe that's happening is Tesla builds these cars in batches. And I think they're just not building them right now. So if I wait, and I have to wait until 2024, then I will most likely be able to, I think, get that $7,500 right off the hood. And so I won't have to pay for the whole car. And then ask for a federal tax credit, or if you're in a situation to be able to do that, you'll be able to do that as well. But I'm kind of interested in getting the car. I want to get it sooner rather than later. I've got interest rates, you know, sort of as a variable going against me. I got the value of my Tesla it is tanking right now, at least from what Tesla is giving me. Now, I do have my car for sale right now, my Model 3, and the reason I have it for sale is because why not? And for those of you who watched the video about the Uber drivers and the Lyft drivers in New York City, where they're opening up the ability for more and more EVs to actually get the taxi and limousine commission license plates, the medallion, to be able to pick up passengers in any of the 5 boroughs of Manhattan. There is a huge demand right now by Uber drivers and Lyft drivers for Model 3s and Model Ys, specifically black ones, that say that they're black on the registration, so that they can actually, so they can actually get a higher premium for their Uber black car rides or what have you. But yeah, big run on Model 3s and Ys. There isn't a lot of demand for the S's and the X's from the professional drivers right now, maybe just a few, but most are buying the Ys and the 3s right now. So look, I'm just going to be patient, but in the meantime, I just wanted to let you guys into my mindset. It's possible I'll get delayed. It's possible the car may come in sooner. We'll see. I'm really not sure. I've got about 26 days left for the value of $31,400 on my Model 3. I have a tax savings of 7.75% on that car, so it's basically like me getting roughly around $33,800 for my car. I think I can do better than that in the marketplace right now, because the white car with the black seats, they are charging $1,000 more, and there's $1,390 of delivery plus $250. So that's a $42,000 car. My car's got 3,600 miles on it. I think I can get somewhere, north of 35 for it. Maybe not. We'll see. If I don't, I'll just trade it in. So, but anyway, so these are all the things that are going on in my mind. I will keep you, in the loop as far as the Model X goes. I'm excited. I was out on Long Island yesterday visiting my father-in-law, who some of you may remember, 98 years old, the veteran, Navy vet. And we stopped off at the Tesla dealer or showroom out on Long Island. And I just, I sat in a ultra red, it had cream seats, plaid sitting on their floor. And man, did that thing just feel right. It just reinvigorated me. I think that's what I needed to do. I was getting a little anxious, so I just sat in the car, and I got my fill for another 2-3 weeks, so I can wait for my car to come in. But it really does get my heart rate going. I'm excited for this Model X. But I did ask the one of the sales reps there if Tesla is sticking pretty close to the dates that they give you, mine being November 9th through December 21st estimated. And she said, yeah, they're pretty good about that. So they may fluctuate, they may go out, they may come back in. So I guess it's just time for Out of Spec Dave to be patient here. But anyway, that's my update on the Model X. I think they're just distracted, Tesla, they're not building these 79,990 cars. And they're building Cybertrucks and maybe getting ramped up for the Model 3 refresh. And all of that's great. All of that makes this is a very low production vehicle in terms of numbers. So this is not where they have their focus right now. But for me, and for all of you who've got a Model X on order, this is where our focus is. So listen, Tesla, if you can get us our cars, get them out to us. We're excited to buy them. And anyway, thanks everyone again for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.